Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thirsty.
Good morning, everyone. It's a Thirsty Thursday, and I am Dolphins Thirsty, and I am with Justin today. Justin, how are you doing out there in the great state of Colorado?
Doing good, man. Waking up to another beautiful day. Every day above ground is another day living is a beautiful day to me. So
yeah,
thankful to be
I
alive.
agree.
Be with you
I
guys.
agree, and we're fans of the 1-0 Miami Dolphins. Week
Yes,
2 is officially here tonight, so all that's behind us. We enjoyed that. Now it's time to focus on the New England Patriots that we get in prime time this Sunday night. So Tua and the gang gets to show the nation finally, maybe, because every time they seem to be on prime time the past couple times, it kind of fizzled out. Hopefully this game go up there in Foxborough on prime time and show the nation that we just weren't a 1-week hit and that we mean business this year moving forward, and that you better bring your A game if you want to beat the Miami Dolphins in 2023. What do you think about that?
You know, you brought something to the forefront right there that I honestly really didn't think of. I kind of like broke the whole game down like X's and O's style. And I honestly didn't even think about it's on Sunday night. I mean, I knew it's on Sunday night.
Right.
But I was like, I didn't think about, hey, it's on the national spotlight. Everybody that doesn't really know our team will get to see our team. I didn't really think about that. It's a chance to revamp us from not being as good on national TV to, like, you know, coming back and showing that we do have a good team. Yes, sir, Ender. Yes, sir. Fins up, my man. Another beautiful day to be alive and be a Dolphins fan, and you're a team. You're a fan of the right squad. You know, I love how you said it too, Tua and the gang. I like that. Yeah, man, we're going up to Foxborough. Let's not get this twisted. We're going into enemy territory. In my opinion, it's still the Lions' den. We need to figure this out. Play it a little closer to your chest. I will be honest with you, like, their defense, it's good. And
they're very good.
I wouldn't like look around it in no form or fashion. The
100%.
You know, the like winging it around all over the place. I don't know if that's the formula to beat this team. I think it's a little bit more of like stay a little bit more balanced, and when you get a chance to take a strike, go ahead and take it. I just wouldn't look around this opponent.
I know I can't mention McDaniel in the same breath as Belichick yet, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a Dolphins fan. I think McDaniel is a very, very good. I won't call him a mastermind yet until he gets some hardware in his cases. But I do believe Mike McDaniel is a very good, high-end, offensive-minded coach, and he is going to go against a defensive mastermind this week in Bill Belichick. So it's going to be like a chess match. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to take this from him. And then McDaniel is probably thinking, well, he's going to try to do whatever they can do to take away Tyreek Hill. They're going to already know our motions and stuff. So we're going to do this move that they're not ready for. So it should be a fun, it's like what they're thinking. He's probably thinking, well, Bill Belichick's seen the film. He knew we moved Tyreek around a lot to create space from the get-go. So they're going to do something to try to jam him on whatever. But I say good luck at that, trying to jam and get him. It's a different thing than wanting to do it because he's so quick. You better have one quick MFer to go out there and jam him off the line. But they're going to create something. They'll probably put a guy in motion. They're going to say, listen, wherever Tyreek goes, you're running with him. They're going to come up with some kind of scheme to Mike McDaniel has to realize they're going to do that and say, well, I'm going to counter you with this, No,
you're right. You're right. You hit it right on the head. It's a chess match. It's a, cat versus mouse, prey versus predator. Like, we got to figure out which one we are going to be. We want to be the predator. We need to figure it out from the get-go. And you're totally right. The first thing Belichick's going to do is he wants to take away their best weapon. That's what they'll do. And that's Reek. That's Tyreek. So they're going to key words right there, and you just said it already. Adam, what's up, man? Fins up. They already said it right there. Try to take him away, because
Right.
I mean, let's not fool ourselves here. Even before he was a Miami Dolphin, I already knew that Tyreek was one of a kind, special with the ball in his hands, and even
Oh, he
with the
is.
ball out of his hands, he's so
No,
good.
he is, sir. He is. And listen, I grew up watching Mark Duper, and Mark Duper was great. But Tyreek's even on the next level because not only is he has a straight ahead speed, this man can turn on a freaking dime and not even lose. Because a lot of these quarterbacks, they can fly, maybe not quick as Tyreek, but they can fly with him, in straight strides. But what he does, he just turned and there's like, oh crap, and they have to do their slow turn, and he's like just like and lost his step. He's just like boom. They've
Yeah.
been broke down some of those guys like you that break down the film after the game. They were showing some routes he ran, and they said, "Oh, Tyreek Hill looks like he's going to run straight," and actually kind of fakes this way, then goes into the middle of the field. That charging, he was like lost from boom. He was done.
Right off the bat, dude. It just wasn't even fair. Like, I mean, I've said this before we even got him. Like, he'll cut you up. He will literally cut you up. And when I mean cut you up, I mean he'll make your D-backs look foolish like he does every weekend. It's kind of funny. Like, he had that one guy going out there when he put it in motion, and then they ran him right up the field, and then he turned it into an in real quick. That dude was lost. He was like literally turned around and 10 yards behind his man, and it was over for him.
Oh, and some of these guys, Chargers, they're no joke. I mean, they made
they
guys
can run.
Yeah, and he made them look bad. And you even see one of them, some fan posted a video during the game with the Chargers guys just looking up there. Tyreek, what are you going to do? I did everything I could do. It's just freaking Tyreek is what he said. Freaking Tyreek.
What Scott said right there, I think, is what the plan will be on defense for the Patriots right there, is to play over top of Hill. Basically, to bracket Hill, leaving Waddle one-on-one. And if you do that, Waddle's just going to go off. Like, I know Waddle didn't have the biggest game. He only had the 89 yards or whatever, the 4 catches. But the one catch he made in the middle of the field and went around the edge up the sideline, man, when he hit the edge and hit the sideline to go upfield, it was like another gear kicked in. He just like ran away from both of those guys. They were like, oh my God, I can't catch this dude. Like, he is fast, bro. Fast.
No, and he's fast and quick.
So fast.
I know you guys that like doing scouting. Some people say, "Oh, he's fast, but he's not so quick." And he goes, "Oh, he doesn't have straight hit speed. He hasn't quickness." This guy has a
He's got both.
He got them both. He's quick and fast, and he's just he's a nightmare, man. I'm sure crazy. Like cornerbacks are like, oh my.
Oh, bro, just think about what the Dolphins have the luxury of that most teams don't have. I mean, we already knew that from last year. I mean, no one was give us no props because they didn't believe in our quarterback, but I think that's about to be debunked. But honestly, you have Reek and you have Waddle. You have what no one has right now in the NFL, and that's speed on both edges, which in turn does what? Opens up the whole middle of the field, like 20, 30 yards in whatever they run as far as the cushion goes. Whoever's one-on-one in the middle of the field is going to be wide open. Once Julian Hill gets back into action and they get him back out there, I could see that being a threat in the seam.
I think Durham Smythe is going to have a surprise. He may not have the big yak yardage, but he's going to get he's going to get some catches, and that's good. I think Braxton Burial, someone brought his name up, Scotty there.
Same.
And, and even River Craycraft. He had a touchdown pass and made some critical catches. And Braxton Berrios had 2 crucial third down conversion catches. So if they're going to take away other plays, we got weapons this year. And I know supposedly Waddle's dealing with a little discomfort. So maybe that's why he wasn't, he played, but maybe that's why he didn't get burned as, Tua said, Waddle, but it's okay. He's practiced yesterday, but they said limited Waddle. But, hopefully that's just something.
Well,
get worked on and everything.
The beauty of this is, think about last year when when you thought about the offense and you were like, well, they're going to go to Reek and they're going to go to Waddle. Well, now we've used it to where Tua is actually using everybody in his offense. I mean, we used Berrios, we used Smythe, we used Craycraft. So now you don't have just a 2-headed dragon no more, and you add Mostert, a 3-headed dragon. Now you have 6-headed dragons sitting out there, multiple weapons that you could use. This is where Tua really can shine, and that's what they did with him at Alabama. You get the playmakers the ball, whether it's short, whether it's deep, and you let them do the rest. Smythe, to me, like I told you on the last show, I think he's going to come through for us in the clutch, you guys. I think there's hidden athletic ability that's not being possessed and not being used. And I think Mike McDaniel sees that, and he's like, you know what? I think I can work with this. So I think they're going to give him his opportunities, and I think the guy, he's going to come through. He's just a baller. He makes blocks. He does all the dirty work. He's done this for years. I've been a Durham Smythe fan around here. So when he got that contract, I was like, all right, let's get the rest of them done. And they got Sealer done, and I was like, oh, man, you guys are making me so happy right now. The defense, I think, like I said, is a work in progress. Did we get the results we wanted? No, but even historically, a Fangio defense, he'll give up that run in order to play solid pass defense on the back end. He does not want to get beat deep. Granted,
Make them earn it down the field a little bit, but
exactly, it happened once, and they had David Long on a coverage, but I think it was just a miscommunication between him and the pass off, which was Xavier Howard and him. I think Xavier should have carried that guy higher and then took the guy. And it was this miscommunication.
You can't be having David Long on any receiver in the league. I mean, I don't care how quick he's a linebacker on a receiver. You're not going to have a good.
You're not wanting him on that guy. On Keenan Allen, on David Long. Come on, mismatch. I would have thrown the ball to Keenan Allen too if I was Justin. So
I know. I mean, so Scotty has a couple points there. So well, first he says he thinks he's going to drop the linebackers back. We'll be trying to take away the middle of the field. So check down running back will probably be there.
I agree. They're gonna try to force Tua to throw the ball deep. They want Tua. They're gonna force Tua to beat him. Obviously, if that's their plan, to drop him back and stay into a zone, that's okay. Just call zone beaters. You can just call zone beaters all day.
No, and it's funny, Scotty. You bring up Ingo. I was gonna bring him up in a minute. Anyway, he is a reason. Like I guess when you say what they only got 2 tight ends on the active roster.
I know.
Ingo, man, he did some blocks in that game. I found he was out there and he was having fun blocking people. So he's kind of like that's why I guess they weren't too worried about stacking the tight end position because they figured they could use him like as a hybrid and he was out there smacking some people around.
No, it works. I mean, Ingold puts in the work, like Scotty says right there. He mentions down there to the bottom to the end, just solid blue collar players. That's exactly what I think about both of them. So when you bring, this is what I want to fill my football team with. That's what I want to fill my football team with. Solid blue collar players, good people that want a ball. Like Tua, like Durham, like Ingold. We actually have a lot of them, maybe even Austin Jackson. It's not like he's not a good guy. He's a great guy. I mean, at 20 years old, he donated bone marrow to his kid's sister for
he did
going on. So it shows that he's got
that could have put him a slow roll on his career for a minute. He still did it. He knew that and he did it. And yes, again, Scotty's on a roll this morning. Yes, Durham Smythe did play every snap.
He is on a roll. Scotty, you're on a roll, man. Keep him firing. We love it over here. If you want to come on the show, Rob will drop the link. And
I've always dropped the link. So, Scotty's great in here, though. As long as he gets those pins up, thumbs up. But Scotty, if you ever want to drop that link, you're welcome to come. But anyway, I just think this game's going to be a lot closer than what a lot of Dolphin fans are saying. Because man, and I know that's maybe me being an older Dolphin fan that's seen the other shoe drop every time. But I just know when we get a little too cocky and get ahead of ourselves, and we're already talking about after week 1 because Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately, he got hurt. And the Bills didn't look good. So everyone's saying, oh, the Dolphins are, let's slow our roll. It's a long season ahead. But I think the Dolphins win and will prevail up in Foxborough. But I think it's going to be like a 1-score game, not some of these predictions I've seen people throwing out there on the Twitter, saying, oh, Dolphins are going to smash New England. I think it's going to be a 1-score game. And it's going to be, hopefully, of course, a Dolphins victory. But and I believe we're the better team, and I think hopefully we win and we come back for our first home game at a record of 2-0. But it's not going to be as cakewalk as what some people are saying out there because Belichick's going to come up with a good defensive plan. We're not going to just be throwing up 466 yards every week. Belichick's going to make sure that we're going to have to find other ways to win football games. And Mike McDaniel is aware of that because in his speech after the game to the players, He said there may be 1 week we have to win a game 10-3, and that could very well be a game
It
like
could be
this
this
coming
week.
up. Yeah, you never know. So
You're
it's
right.
crazy. But I do think the Dolphins will beat New England, but I think it's going to be a close game, closer than what a lot of people are saying. It's good to see the Dolphins favored, so you're getting some respect. They're on the road favorite against New England. So,
Yeah.
it's
I think there's a lot to take into the game, obviously, and I think the coach started right off the bat. He gave his pregame or postgame speech talking about how we had a good victory and battled through, and then he said, "Then we're getting ready for a division opponent right after this." That
right.
means, don't let your guard down right now. Now is when you got to enhance your senses and be ready to go for anything, because it'll be a battle. It's a division game. We already know that. Um, I hope that he's learned his lesson from everything that we went through last year with what he's seeing this year. And what gives me like a good feeling of hope is the way the offensive line is playing, number one, and number two, the way that the execution is being executed on the football field. It's nice. It means they're all on the same page. Like the receivers meeting with Tua and everybody, and the receiver groups meeting together, and all the groups meeting together is a big deal. That means everybody's on the same page. It means that there's no chances for error. I keep hearing this thing that the players keep reiterating, not only the players but the coaches, and it's throughout their press conferences after the games. Is this they hold themselves to a higher standard, Okay, what that means is that they're not playing for like, hey, I want X amount of stats and I want to hit my incentives and I want to get my bonus. I think they're out for it all. And that means a
Yeah.
higher standard is we know where we want to go and we know what we got to do to get there.
And they all have
That's the
right.
standard.
Yeah, but they all have their personal goals, of course, players do, but they all have the team goal that they want to be the standard and they want to go. Anyway, Ender has a question there for you, Justin. Can you read it or you want me to read it to you? I don't know if you can see it.
What do you mean, though, for week? Justin, do you think that the New England Patriots have a better defense than our Dolphins? Question mark for week one. Well, week one was already played. You mean week two for this week coming up? Or the first week versus the Dolphins? At this point in time, yeah, I really do. Yeah, their defense is better than the Dolphins at this point in time. It is. You can say what you want, and people will be like, well, they don't got nothing back there. And they don't have no pass rushers, and they don't have no corners, and they don't have no deep backs. I'll give you two names right off the bat that we played them even last year, and I was like, you got to watch out for these two, and that's Matt Judon and Kyle Duggar. I don't know how many times I got to tell people about Kyle Duggar until they'll listen to me. I was really on Kyle Duggar's draft stock out of Lenore Ryan. I scouted the kid heavily, and I was a big fan, and he would fit perfect in what we're doing, but now he's Patriots stuff, and you see this is what you got to plan around. It's almost the same thing with the Dalton Kincaid thing from Buffalo. Guys I like go there, and I'm like, oh, now you got a game plan against these guys who are nightmares.
Right.
This is a dude who's almost exactly like Derwin James, okay? He can play in the box. He can play deep. He can play all three linebacker spots, which not a lot of people even play strong side linebackers anymore. But then he can play all those spots is basically what I'm trying to tell you, so you can move him around. He's got position flexibility. So he will be everywhere. On every single snap, you need to identify where Kyle Duggar is at, period.
Boom. And then he says, just to Scotty again, Tyreek doesn't just rely on his speed and taking
Laughs and
money
takes the money.
and laughs and take the money. This dude worked on his route so much this offseason. It's 100% obvious. He's crisp, and yes, I agree. He's crisp and sharp on the field. You're right. He ran some crisp routes, not just speed. Oh, my speed's going to get me by. He really did run some nice routes, and Scotty is still on a roll.
One more thing you can also point out to the execution and the results and all the fruit we're bearing from our wide receiver core. It's not just the receivers and the hard work they put in and Tua and the offense as a whole. It's the coaching staff. Look at the motions that were used in like the condensed splits and how that we used our receivers in that game. I mean, go look at Tyreek, dude. He ran numerous different motions. They gave him numerous different looks, and we're using that not just with Tyreek, but with all our receivers. The one play where Tua climbed the pocket and he hit Tyreek on the sideline to basically in the fourth quarter. Go look at that play. Go look at that play on the film and watch how Tyreek slow roll. He was it's called slow play. He slow played him off the line in order to give him that time. You know what I mean? Then Tua climbed
Is
the
that the
pocket.
play
It all
that they
worked out
showed
perfect.
they had practice in the off season where Tua was throwing at the park where, and they were saying practice made perfect,
Practice makes perfect. It's true. It really is true. Because I remember when we started this game off, I think Tyreek had a drop, right? He had a drop, maybe even 2 drops. There was a drop somewhere. Then after
There was one towards the end of the game, I know for sure.
yeah,
There was
well,
one,
before, I think he was one in the middle or the beginning of the game. But after they shook the rust off and then the bad snap, all that crap, they shook off the rust. Tua and Tyreek, man, they really got going. And I mean,
they were cooking, man. And I can see because I know some people look, I'll be the first one to say sometimes the Dolphins abandon the running game too soon. But man, when you're getting that wide, I mean, sometimes it just because like you're the first one to say run the ball, run the ball. But when you see that you're getting those big gaps, you're like, well, screw it. If they're gonna give us that, you might as well do it.
I can give you something more onto that. There's a lot more to that us throwing it around than I thought. And now that I'm starting to like go back and find out what's going on, like there's a report I read this morning that said that Raheem Mostert is dealing with some sort of an injury. I don't know to what part. Maybe it was an ankle or something like that, right?
Some people said it was veteran rest. Others saying he is dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, but I don't know what the status is.
Fine. I believe that there is some sort of a knee injury going on. Something's going on. And I'll be honest with you, that's why they're not leaning on that run game more. So now you got 2 running backs out of the 5 that you got. Okay. And in fact, you might as well just say 3 because we ain't seen off chain yet. And now all we got is Brooks.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, Jonathan Taylor, please come on. Let him activate him off the pup and let's make a deal. Like, I can't even imagine where we would be with, oh my God, can you just imagine? Oh my God. That would be
I can't wait till A-Chain's in there and stuff. That's, it's just we're waiting, man. It's like that Christmas gift that is coming, but Santa couldn't get it there on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve. So it's going to be like a couple days late, but it's going to come, and he should be fun to watch. And I'm really excited because I've been saying I'm off the chain for A-Chain. I'm not normally a guy that hypes up a rookie, but watching this guy, just his speed and burst, he reminds me a little of Tyreek at, he's at a running back position, but he's just, he may not be as muscular, of course, as, Tyreek as in thick, but the guy, he can run on the dime too and change
absolutely.
Speed. He has that gift too. So
you're speaking about
you're digging in the trenches, Justin. So I'll let you handle what Scotty says there.
Okay,
do you agree with him?
AJ's hand technique is insane in game 1, 100% turnaround. He had a snatch and trap on Bosa that put him face first to the ground. Absolutely, bro. He does. It looks night and day. His hands look a little bit more patient to me. His technique looks a little bit more cleaned up and crisp. I think that Butch Berry was in OTAs and during training camp preaching technique and be aggressive when you get a hold of them. Go ahead and finish your blocks out. I like where the line is right now. I like how they're approaching it for real. Like, hey, this means something to us. We got our quarterback back here that we love, that it's our brother, and we want to go places this year, and we're going to protect him. They're playing it like every snap kind of like that, close to the chest. Very smart, too. They're picking up stunts, they're picking up twists. Whether it's a TE stunt or a delayed blitz, they seem to be on point. I seen one in particular from Austin Jackson I was really impressed with, where they had to ID a linebacker coming up, and he either has the linebacker coming up or he's going to have Bosa. It was Bosa or the lineman. He was like in a spot, and they blitzed the linebacker, and he looked and had a pass off, and it was crazy to see his technique just looks that much better because he looked at the IDing linebacker, was like, no, I got Bosa. Bam.
Right.
Hit him and stuck him. And I was like, that's what you need from the dude. He at least checked inside with his fellow, Robert Hunt. Like, you got him right. You know what I mean? And he had him, and bam, they made the switch. And
I like that stuff, man. That's why I call you and you call yourself. Well, that's why you're known as digging in the trenches, because you just are one of those rare people that love watching offensive line and defensive line.
I live for
I know. That. I mean, you were a defensive line coach before you got too busy and have too many other things. You used to volunteer your time to be a defensive line coach for a semi-pro football team.
Yes, sir.
And so the defensive line, and you helped improve that defensive line. So, you know your stuff. So it's good to have you here. That's why I love
talking football. I love football. It's in my blood. there's a lot going on down there sometimes to explain it to some people that, it's rough. And I don't know as much as some people do. There's people out there that know tons more than I know about the offensive line and football in general. So to hear us all kind of speak about it and like share our nuances with the game and what you see, I really take it in. Like, I love it all. Like if I didn't know something, I'll say thank you for teaching me that to somebody else, because it gives you more to your game. There's like, even when I started coaching, I seen some coverages and stuff that I'd never seen before, and I was like, what is that? And somebody would tell me, and I'm like, wow, thanks, because I've never seen it before. Like, there's a lot going on out there.
So yeah, he was saying that's a play. The one you just described was one that he was,
Exactly.
that exactly. Completely agree.
It's
So,
just it's kind of like really nice to see. And like, I want to talk about this just a little bit, get it off my mind, because as Dolphins fans, I think we're a little hard on the players when they come out. I myself included. Like, everybody knows I'm not the biggest Austin Jackson guy. Now, did I have him projected as a first round pick and maybe a franchise tackle? Yeah, when I started doing this YouTube stuff, I actually had him slated as this franchise tackle who maybe could turn around and have a good career if the light would pop on. He had technical deficiencies, which I quoted in the video about him being able to have guys cross his face and, things like that. But he's working on it. And I think as Dolphins fans, we need to slow our roll a little bit, especially with offensive line and tight ends. You need to relax, slow down. They might need a couple of years. They might need 3 because it's a complicated game. And a lot happens to them during this time. Like, take for an example, like, you had offensive line coaches switching almost every year. Same thing that was happening to Austin Jackson was happening to Tua. Was happening to Austin Jackson. So it's the same 100%. Thing. So let's just slow down. Let's see if he can get it together. Like, this week, I'm really looking at Austin Jackson. Last week, I was like, every snap my eyes would go right to him. But
it's not almost every year. It's every year for the past 10 years we've had a new offensive. We actually had, I think, 11 offensive line coaches in that 10-year span, because one year Flores didn't even let one break training camp. So,
dude, Scotty, you're on fire. Scotty's on fire. You're on fire.
So AJ picked up the most dangerous rusher to do it.
It's true. It's true. What he just said right there, Tua seen it. You know what's so nice about this? I'm almost cussed right there, sorry. But I'm so proud that the Dolphins are doing this. It's nice to see everybody kind of hitting their stride in the same time and like growing together. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Austin Jackson making his IDs. Tua seeing it too, and moving himself in the pocket to where he needs to be, because he ID'd the hot and made the read. This is what we need. Remember me saying this in year 1 of the offense. It looked a little shaky, was great, all that. What's up, Steve? Good morning. But now in year 2, they're really starting to kind of like fall into their own. The offense is like starting to like hit on levels we ain't seen before. And it's going to get better, more dangerous. Can you even imagine a more dangerous offense than the one we have now? Oh, I can't even imagine. You go from throwing 36 points a game to 46. It could be that. And what it needs to be is being more consistent, more balanced, more not so like, hey, we know they're going to pass, so let's try to just sit back into a zone and maybe we get a good read. I think the Dolphins will eventually do that. And that comes from Mike McDaniel growing as a play caller. And having the weaponry that he can rely on to execute. I think one of the guys we're missing out of all of this, it's huge too, because he's going to bring it into play, would be Eric Izukama. This is somebody that's a multifaceted. See, these are the kind of weapons that somebody like Mike McDaniel's like, ooh, what can I do with that? See, and he's like, they're multifaceted, meaning he can play receiver. He can play trigger man. He can play gadget dude. Hell, you can probably even line him up in the backfield like they did in that game and hand it off to him, and he's going to get you positive yardage. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, Eric Izukama is really starting to remind me of Cordero Patterson.
Right. Hey, Shake Money and Steve Malloy. And as a reminder, Steve Malloy and myself will have a show tonight at 7:15 p.m. on this very same channel. Yeah, on this very same channel. And Shake Money, he can be found on the Finn's Tailgate channel over there, guys. He really has some good stuff going on over there, guys. Make sure you check them out. Let's see. I love McDaniel's scheming, specific play for easy. So he's going to be a big part, just getting warmed up. Yes.
Yep.
Again,
exactly.
I agree, man. I loved it seeing that, because he can catch the ball, obviously. out there. But just to do, and I'm never going to say he's going to be a Debo, but he can do some Debo-like things, where he can take that ball when he's running and go up, because not many receivers can take it up, go up the gap, and he can do stuff like that because most of them are just going to want to get wide, but he can hit up, all of a sudden just boom, take it and go. And I like that. So,
it's a little crazy, but we just don't know what we have with him yet. You never know. You never know what you might have. You might have something just like Tyreek in a different body form like him. You might have something like that, and you don't know yet. The thing about someone like an Eazy-E, it's crazy. Like, did you hear what Mike McDaniel said about it? And he's like, he like gave it a weird answer, and he was like, I want to give these guys an opportunity. Like his answer was good because he's like, as a coach, you see these guys in a certain body mold and a form, and they're multiple. And what he means by that is like he could do multiple things for you. He's not just a gadget player or a chain mover or just a wide receiver. So they're giving him a look, and he's like, well, what if? So that what if factor got to Mike McDaniels, and he was like, put him in the backfield, hand him the ball. I want to see what happens. And they did it. And these are the kind of things you really need to be doing. It's almost the same thing that happened to the end of the half there when he called the timeout. And we got the 9 seconds, and we got the pass play, and then we got the play to Eazy-E. We got pushed in the back in the gimme game, really, because the 3 points is what won us the game. Like, not a lot of people really do that. Not a lot of people call timeouts right there in order to maybe take a chance at the end of the game. That's not just from Mike McDaniels. His analytics team is in the background, be like, yo, the numbers are telling us this is skewed really high to us getting a play right here. That's when you take your chance.
Yeah, we got a little help on the guy making a boneheaded play on the defense, but that doesn't come if McDaniel doesn't use the clock. So I like it. I think he's learned. We didn't burn stupid timeouts in the second half because we couldn't get a play in. We got up there. We got the ball snapped. Granted, a couple times you saw it going to the red, like, come on, get it off. But they got it off. And, it seemed like a much smoother process. Granted, when everything you're almost calling is working for big chunk yardage, it's a lot easier to get a call in.
It's night and day. Rob, it's night and day. The calls are obviously coming in quicker because he's be able to move people around and not. Yeah, there was a couple times, like you said, it got into the red and you're like, snap it. But the plays are coming in quick. Like, I think it's got a matter of doing with everybody being comfortable where they're at and having guys out there that know the offense down to a T. Raheem Mostert. I think Tua's actually taken this offense right under his belt, and he knows this offense now, and it's going to get better and better. But a guy I want to give my props to and give my flowers, I'm a big fan, River Craycraft. River Craycraft knows where to be on that football field and knows where to align out of all 4 wide receiver positions.
And he knows how to play special teams.
Yep.
He's a valuable asset to
gunner, he can play punt returner. Yeah, I like me some River Craycraft. And like, is he the most explosive wide receiver we have on the football team? Hell no. But he's the most consistent almost. You see what I'm saying? He always where he needs to be. He always makes the right blocks. He always runs the right route. He's always lined up in the right position. Stuff like that is so valuable from a coaching perspective, and for you to call plays, it makes things easy.
No, exactly. And like Scotty says, those 3 points and the PI call, that is what Super Bowls can get into. Pat's got in their run all the time. They did the whole famous the tuck play. That could have gone either way, and the tuck play goes the other way. The Patriots lose that game, and who knows how big of
Don't get me going on that.
I know it's just crazy. It's just it's crazy how sometimes just little things like that can get you rolling. And good teams, yes, every team that wins the Super Bowl, they earn it because of hard work, dedication. But a lot of teams have that hard work and dedication, and sometimes a little break goes the right way, and that team gets the break, and that's how it goes. And teams that get on a roll, sometimes maybe they earn that break. Just like
the football gods tend to bless teams that play the game the right way. Let's just say that the football gods tend to bless teams that play the game the right way. Don't say that when the Patriots are making them runs, they didn't make all the blocks, make all the key tackles, make all the key big plays. That's what it takes to win in this league. When you see a chance, you take it. And that's what this is. This is what it's going to come down to for the Dolphins. Can they do that? Can they execute? Can they execute what's being called out there for them? And then it's just awesome, man. Like, second year in the same system, first time for Tua. I mean, this is exactly. See, here's another first. First time for Austin. Actually, no, it is a different offensive line coach and a different scheme. But hey, same scheme for Tua, like you said. This Think about what's going to be there in year 3 or year 4 or year 5, man. I mean, we'll be lighting teams up. Maybe
I
we
hope
are
you're right,
built.
and it just becomes a great problem because we're going to have to worry about who to pay and who to move on from. But if
Oh
we
man,
win one damn Super Bowl, then that's going to be the greatest problem in the
bro.
history of the
If he keeps playing
football
like
Dolphin
this,
land.
if our quarterback Tua keeps playing like this, I'm going to tell you right now that contract that Burrow just got right there, that 275, it's going to be beat. You're going to end up backing up a Brinks truck to the Tagovailoa household to drop off this dude's payload because it's going to be excess, and you're going to pay this guy. If he starts winning these big games for you, doing these things, it's huge, you guys. Oh, my God, dude. That right there, dude, I got a story about that game, Shake Money, you're talking about. There's more to that game than you think, and it involves a player that's on the Dolphins right now. In fact, it involves Jalen Ramsey. Roger Goodell went into the locker room at halftime and was like, you guys are going to lose this game. And Jalen Ramsey's like, hell no. Remember he put out that tweet. Do you remember the tweet he put out, the cryptic tweet he put out? Because that tweet right there says it all in a nutshell. And then they let I think it was versus New England win, and, you know, they went on to win the Super Bowl. See what happens? Because they were told to tank the game. That's what I heard.
Oh, I can't see that.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
Okay. Yeah, I doubt that's true. But if it is, that would have really been out. I think they would have been going, oh.
I don't doubt anything these days and age, Rob.
Let's not get too carried away. I don't know. Hey, it's all fun, but hey, but another game.
I'd like to ask Jalen Ramsey about that.
Yeah, I know exactly. But another thing, the pass interference that wasn't called when the Saints and the Rams played each other, you know? So it's just like, yeah, games can go either way.
Either way. Yep.
Either
that was
one.
blatant.
Because if
that
the Saints
pass interference call was blatant. That one you're talking about, the Rams Saints was blatant.
Yeah, they tackled the guy, dude, or whatever, and they didn't call it, you know? So it's like crazy.
That's nuts, man. I don't like that. I mean, you could even get me going on more conspiracies when the Rams.
I know. I believe every NFL conspiracy as a Dolphins.
When the Rams won their Super Bowl versus the Bengals. Seriously, this is a real thing. I've never seen a Super Bowl in my life, and on back to back pass interference calls.
Oh, I know. They were going to get. Yeah, I know. They were going to get that victory for them no matter
That's
what.
That's ridiculous, bro. Like, just let them play. Put your whistle in your pocket. And let's see what happens.
I mean, if they're blatant, yes. If they're blatant, you know,
well, if it's blatant, there's 3 of them in that game, in that series.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah.
2 of them were tic-tac, bro. Only one of them was real pass interference. It was the first one. The other 2,
right.
What the hell are you calling?
I know. Obviously, hey. But at least if it's an art, if it was a Dolphin fan, I'd be crying in my, you know, milk to today. So, you know,
just scheme it up the right way for the Dolphins for the first time. Let's go.
I know, because it's actually that commercial that kind of mocks like they're all.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's almost like the truth people are saying. They go, "Oh, the NFL's finally admitting it's like WWE practice the winner scheme here."
Do you want to know what got me excited about that commercial? The first time they showed it, and they're all starting to make fun of the script. Who's the first person they go to?
Which one was it?
Jalen.
Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, no, you're right. It was Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, that's right.
Excited. I was like, "Oh, dude, they're gonna scheme it up for the Dolphins win the Super Bowl." I got so excited when I seen that.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's the biggest league in all the sports, and they don't have these guys are insurance salesmen all week, doctors, dentists, and then they go. I agree with you. They need full time.
That's why they pick those
and then
guys.
During the off season, they go to some school or whatever. Do whatever. There's something they can do because they're probably, like baseball and basketball, the years are so long they can justify, but they can justify it in the pros. They can do.
Yeah, they can afford it too.
Yeah, they can afford it. Make them go to some camp during, if they don't want to be a ref, okay, you can't, if you're not willing to go to some school during the off season, then you're not.
But instead, they choose the most people who are they are thought of to be the most honest in our society, but are really the most corrupt people you can choose to choose to be NFL refs, lawyers, snakes. They're like snakes car salesmen, and that's.
I know. They got all kinds of guys. So, I agree with that, and just have them go year round. And that's all they do. It's no football, everything. And, it's tough. I know it's hard, but that's why instant replay does help. Because, you're going to miss some things. It's just they're only human out there, and you're going to miss some.
But that's why you have instant replay.
That's why you got instant. You're going to miss something. And, yes, you may miss a whole blatant holding. You may miss whatever. It's going to happen. But if you go year round, it will cut down because you're going to have more things to, more trained
So
eyeballs that's their 100% dedication. It's their job. So
anybody
Scotty,
that like
definitely.
knows me real well, honestly, that they about the grass and the turf thing. My buddy, there he is, RL Lyles. What's up, buddy? Namaste. Um, it's a thing that it has to be changed. It really should have been changed already. I'm all for grass. I don't want turf on any football field. It's it's ruined so many careers at this point, and I hate to be the dude who was like, hey, it's this Dolphins fan's fault who lives in Colorado that Aaron Rodgers was hurt. Bro, I kind of just foreseen some stuff that was going to happen. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, how could you be uh, the Jets are, it's frustrating for me because Aaron Rodgers on the team, right? But how would you think a 40-year-old's going to play 14 out of 17 games on turf? Okay. Not only that, in that game, this threw me for a loop when I was watching the game. I was like, are you serious? They had Aaron Rodgers and they had Zach Wilson and no emergency quarterback. So the
Yeah.
emergency quarterback would have been the guy who played for Cato, who's the Randall Cobb would have been their emergency quarterback.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, dude, I was like, this is just dumb. Like, that's dumb planning on the Jets' part. We went into that last game we played with Tua, Mike White, and Skyler was the emergency quarterback. And I want it that way. I want it that way all year.
Yeah, no, of course.
They
Because
gave the emergency quarterback for a reason, and the Jets didn't even play their card. Like, that's
I know. No, I agree 100%. You're right, because not that your team's chances are that great if you get down to your emergency quarterback, but they're a lot better than having a receiver come in and be your emergency quarterback. So
I was like dumbfounded by the whole strategy. I was like, what the hell? You coming in there with two dudes, like, it just made zero sense to me. And it was a division game, a division battle versus the Bills. And the Bills got right after him, right off the bat, dude. And I'll be honest with you,
Scotty, I'm not a big NBA guy, as I've said many times on here, but I do know that one referee a few years ago got busted for,
they're bad, bro. They're both.
They're
of them.
bad.
I don't like either or as far as that goes. The NHL refs, not too bad, but it's crazy, man. Has any of you looked at the first year Fangio defense and how long it took to see a difference to take place? I have not done the research on any of that, but I have heard.
Have I. Maybe Scotty knows a lot of that stuff. I don't know.
Scotty.
But RL bringing the good question. I can look that up maybe by my night show tonight and have that answered. But right now, I have not. If you're still listening, Steve, do some research and see what that is out there.
Get it done. I was going to say, RL, from what I've heard traditionally about the Fangio defenses, actually takes a year. So let's hope it's not that and it changes quick. I know everyone's concerned. I'm not concerned yet. I'm not gonna go there right now. And the reason why is because I'm gonna trust a guy who's been in the league for over 20 years to figure this thing out. The one thing I will give you from it is he doesn't have someone he thought he was gonna have in the defense right now.
I know Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, that's a big deal, dude.
And I know people say, well, you guys didn't have Ramsey last year, but when you made him your key, basically outside of Fangio, he was our key defensive maneuver in the offseason. And, you don't
anyone who doesn't, if you don't get it, like he was going to do stuff with Ramsey. I'm not even playing with you. That's why they traded for him that you've never seen done before. So, like, I think it changes the dynamics of the defense because who's going to do that now? Who's your star Jack, Rover, Robber guy? Because you don't really have one.
Here's an answer, RL. Fangio first years has always shown improvement overall, usually 10 spots. But during that year, how long it took to start, I'm not sure.
No one knows.
Yeah.
I would give it at least 5 games, bro. And like by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go. I was hearing about 4 to 5 weeks and stuff.
By Thanksgiving, you should be cranking. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as me being a Dolphins fan and a diehard fan that I am, I always envision us like playing pretty good ball up until Thanksgiving and then like get cranking.
That's when you want to play your best ball. And in years past is when, we start digressing a little bit. So, but
so what's
hopefully this year, you want every game's important from the very first kickoff to the very last play or the last regular season game because every play matters until you get into that playoff. But, you do want to be playing your best, and that goes for any of the sports. I'm a baseball and a football guy. You always want your team, if they're going to be in the playoff, to be playing their best ball at the end of the year because that's when things happen. That's why a team that had the best record all year but kind of faded right at the end but barely held on to the best record sometimes get beat in the first round because they're not playing their best ball. So you just never know. So you guys are right, man. You just want to
You
play your
can't.
best ball at the end of that campaign.
Yeah, you can't get complacent, and you know what? You just can't. You got to play every game like it's the last you're going
And
to
I
play.
know that's Mike McDaniel's message that he repeats.
Can't
You
get
want
complacent.
to improve from 1 week to the next. So that's when they asked him, "Oh, are you worried about your defense's performance this week?" He didn't say no, he wasn't worried, but he goes, "I expect to see improvement." So he goes, let's improve, and let's not forget the Chargers have some crazy weapons too. I know we all brag about ours because no one can really match Tyreek, but they have good weapons. They got a good back
They're
in
loaded.
They got a good quarterback, and they got receivers that and Allen and Mike Williams and another guy. So they're good. So it's not like we were playing some sloppy Joe team out there. We were playing high caliber NFL offensive talent. So
I seen another statement that I agree with too that was on Twitter this morning that I was like, wow, you know what? I think they're right. And too many guys on the defensive line were playing individial ball, trying to make plays instead of playing
yes,
instead of
McDaniel
playing
called
as
that out.
instead of playing
McDaniel
as
called
a
that
unit.
out.
Why the hell did you do that? That irritates me a little, and the reason why is because you need to play as a unit. You need to play as one, like the offensive line played as a unit. You need to play as a unit too, and of course, there's going to be individuals that stand out. But that's only because you played as a unit. Do you see what I'm saying? So when people are like Chubb sucks, he's no good. No, he's part of the unit, and the unit needs to improve. The unit has to play better.
I'm the first one to pick on Chubb sometimes, but I'm giving him time to improve. I just hate when we threw the first round pick at them. But I hope he eats my words, and I've been saying it's the best first round pick we've used in a long time. So I'm hoping. And yes, I love that too. Oh, and RL, I skipped over a couple of his good comments.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's talk about RLs.
Let me see. But McDaniel said, "See, I'm not crazy. I expected just from two." Yeah, I did love that comment too. Let's see.
Well, then guess what? I'm not crazy as well because I expected this the whole time.
So here he talks about what we covered a little bit of the offensive line before you got in RL, but yes, they were happy. They really talk about AJ Jackson. They didn't mention Lamb. So what's your thoughts on Lamb and Wynn? He mentions Wynn in the next comments.
I think they both played so good. Like Kendall Lamb, I'm starting to become a big fan, and the reason why is because he's kind of an OG, like an original gangster back there. Like this dude just handles his business, and he's like, hey, I've seen them all, and I'm not going to let anybody tell me I can't do what I know I can. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give you the best version of myself. And he's playing for his teammates. He's playing for the guy next to him. What he really said during his press conference that I mentioned it to you, Rob, was about when the battles get going and you're in December and you need to win these games, that you're going to want to form some sort of a resemblance of a run game that you can lean on and just pound it down people's throats. Hearing that come out of a lineman's mouth to me was like, oh, I was like, dude. Yes.
I know, because I know. I always think of you and linemen and all that. That's always been your calling card.
That's what I like, man. Like, if you can get that on your offensive line, you're going to beat everyone's butt. Like, they're going to just kick. You're going to take the pain to them. And then it makes your Tyreek and Waddle and all these guys that much more dangerous. You're like a dagger. So instead of doing it in like 5 or 6 pass plays, you're doing it in like 1, 2 running plays, and bam, I hit you with a deep dagger and it's a touchdown. Like, that's
so
the
you
difference.
So where you're like, say Armstead and this week or the next week, 100% healthy. He's still better than Lamb. You still go with Armstead, or is Lamb almost on that level where it's so close that you're not that big of a difference?
It's funny that you said that, but before I answer that, let me get back into RL real fast because you asked about the Isaiah Wynn. Man, I'm really a big fan of Wynn too. Remember, I told you, I think before we even started training camp, OTAs was like, Isaiah Wynn will be the left guard, starting left guard. I'm not going to ever deny what I thought. Yeah, props to Butch Berry. He's making these guys play his style, his way, and be more aggressive. I love it. I like what we're seeing. If you can't get the full block, give me a half a block, because all you really need to do is get half a man in this, and we're going to be on our way. There was a couple plays I saw Isaiah Wynn. I know we're on pass reps, like stone cold, like literally like a wall, like bam. He was so solid, hit his dude, and the dude just stopped right there.
He has a little humor there, so
Boom.
yeah. But anyway, yes. So you got
Boom goes the
Edward.
dynamite.
So go back to like Armstead coming back 100% healthy. He's gonna supplant Lamb as his starter. But do you think it's that big of an improvement, or do you think Lamb's almost up there where he can play as well as
It's funny.
Armstead?
I didn't think we
A
would get into
healthy
this.
Armstead. I mean, like I know we haven't even seen 100% healthy Armstead since he's been a Miami Dolphin. He always had some kind of little
I know
lingering
you probably
injury.
won't. You probably won't. But I was going to
Yeah,
say it's funny that you're asking this. I didn't think we would get into any of this questioning today, but I'm glad you asked
yeah.
because if it was me and my choice, I love you, Tehran. I really do. But right now, I got to go with the hot hand. And right now, my hot hand is with the offensive line that I just started. I'm going into the game and I start the offensive line I just had out on the football field. Do I bring Tehran to the game if he's healthy and wants to play? Sure. But I don't need to. See, what I'm kind of saying right now is we're playing on house money right here. And like, if they're going to play like this, go ahead and start that line. And then Tehran, we can save those bullets for down the road. Now, do we need to get him practicing and game ready and into movement? Yeah. And into individual and team drills? Yes, you need to have that going on first and foremost. And then if he's active and wants to play and we need him, play him.
Okay, well, he says 100% Armstead is a top 3 LT. Yes, there could be an improvement, and I fully support Lamb, but that's a 100% health. Okay. So, yeah, I know. I do
Health
agree. That's
related.
one thing. I was just wondering, but Armstead is really good, and I would say he's going to be the guy. But I understand your thing because you like cohesion in an offensive line, and they're playing cohesive right now. So,
You don't.
but I think Armstead out there is kind of like captain on the field, and he will help with the cohesion anyway.
Yeah, you don't mess with something like that right now. Like I'm not. If I was the coach of the Miami Dolphins, I'm starting the line I just started, and the reason why is because I'm not taking something that's not broke. I'm not trying to fix something that's not broke. They gave up
Yeah,
zero
yeah,
sacks.
see, so Scotty kind of agrees with you because he says I don't want to see an 80% or 90% arm set, and that's
Um,
probably what we have right now.
that's
Because if
it's
you read
exactly
what
what
he
I don't even think
said
you got that. I think you got like a 60, maybe 50% arm steady. I'll
yesterday,
be
he
honest.
practiced in the red non-contact jersey and had the complete. Today, though, he said he was going to try to go full speed. So we will see how that goes and if he's one step closer.
How many
So, but
practices
he
did
even
he have?
said he has to get in football.
He just
Once to
is
get
not
in
in shape. He's
football
not in
shape.
shape. He's not in shape, dude. Like he had like not enough practices and spin during OTA or during not OTA, but during camp and during the preseason. He didn't practice. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
We got to get this dude in game shape before I'm even putting him on the field.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
I
even,
have his interview that he gave yesterday to the local media. He says it's great being back out there with the guys, running around, playing the game I love. We're working, trying to get healthier. Is he trying to get healthier and get closer to getting back out there full time? I
what
missed
I
a lot
just
of
said.
time in training camp, so I don't have many reps under my belt for this campaign. I definitely
Yeah.
have to get those in, get in playing shape, get in playing shape. This is out of his own words, not media talking for him. Get in playing shape, get my hands right, my timing right, communicate right with the guys. I'll be back out there tomorrow hitting full speed, trying to get my game readiness on. So
He
and
gave
then
you
he go,
everything I just said, dude. Like he said everything I said basically to you out of his
yeah,
mouth that he's not game shape ready. No, bro. Now that I heard that out of his mouth, hell no. I'm going with the same line I just had. I don't care if he's screaming on the top of a building, I'm ready to play. I'm gonna save him from himself. I'm not doing that. I want him when it really counts. And to do that, we just need to kind of like bring him along slowly. He's older. He gets hurt. We need to handle this situation very, very delicately.
right. No, because I mean he is definitely our best left tackle for sure. One we know that when he's healthy, he's our best offensive tackle. But we're talking about at their current status, how they are health wise right now. That Lamb is probably better than Armstead for the Dolphins until we see the old Armstead of Unfortunately, since he's been on the Dolphins and he's played really well for the Dolphins when he's been in there, but he's always had some kind of ailment. So hopefully we can get over that and just a little rest, maybe. Like Scotty says, if you can get them to maybe if we can eke out wins in the first few games, maybe
Yeah.
the first three, and get them ready for the Buffalo game because that defense is no joke either. So, get them, who knows? I don't know.
Scotty's on fire, man. He's on fire. Yeah, I love this. Scotty, you're the man. I love the end of it where he says right there, and bring up like a Deshaun Hand. But I'm thinking maybe they should bring up the Lawrence kid. And the reason why is because I think we need more of a he's a good block beater. He's stout at the point of attack. Right now, the biggest thing missing.
Rashard Lawrence. Lawrence.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. That's who I would bring up on the defensive line rotation to go with Peely, and I'd give Peely snaps too, to keep all my guys fresh. You're missing someone who can fill the gaps. Remember what I said after the game, that the run fits were not right, and they were all over the place. I went back to look at the film. I was like, damn, this is way worse than I thought. And the reason why is because you have no linebackers stepping up to fill the gaps, and you have no D linemen slashing in to make the play where they need to make the play. They're being blocked. And that means you need someone who's more stout at the point of attack, who can beat his block one-on-one or play two-gap. When I say play two-gap, it means and look. Do you understand? Right. Two-gap. So you can be like, I'm taking you here or I'm taking you here. And you have to have guys who are strong enough at the point of attack with their hands in order to do that. That's Rashard Lawrence. And Deshaun Hand definitely can do it too. But I think Lawrence is better. I think they need to bring somebody in there off our practice squad to help with his game. The linebackers, man, I'm not a fan, you guys. I'm real sorry. I've never been a Jerome Baker fan. I'm sorry. He's played better. I even said he would be better in this defense. I'm not seeing it. And the reason why I'm not seeing it is because he doesn't have the attributes in order to become that. You need someone who come up there and stuff it.
Vince, up to you, Scotty. Make sure you nail that thumbs up on your way out if you haven't done so already.
Yeah,
have a great day, Scotty. And we'll be on tonight. If you want to come pick on Steve, Scotty, Steve and I will be rolling tonight. But anyway, he asked, let me go back to RL. You got on such a roll, I didn't want to interrupt you. But what do you think about them? Would you look at him and kick the tires on a low? I know we've had that name connected to us. It's like every single time, but he's out there on the free agent market. Would you look at him, or you just think you're past that at this point?
Honestly, I think I'm kind of past it at this point. And the reason why I am, and I know it's shocking to hear me say that, I got more on the defensive line front that I was just talking about, but we'll go into this because I have some light to shed on it. You know what? I've seen Collins kind of regress since where he was at Dallas. I'm a little worried about his injury history as well. Competition,
he basically said as a backup. That was just his first comment.
Yeah, I could see if it's for something that's really cheap. Yes, I'm all for it. But the thing that I want to break down for you guys, so you guys can understand where I'm coming through with this, is before the season.
1 minute. You gotta have a personal thing to Vito. Vito, hit me up a DM. I want to catch one of your football games. He's a coach for the 13U Miramar Patriots. Yes, it happens to be the Patriots. But it's okay. It's not the Dolphins. If Vito could himself change the name of the team, he would change it to the Dolphins. But Vito doesn't have any control over that. But Vito, please hit me up in Twitter DM and tell me when your next game out in Miramar is, because that's my
next. Make sure to make it down there.
I haven't told Justin. Oh, I feel bad. I missed his game. I just totally, when you get older, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go. I did. Boom. I come Saturday. I'm like, man, shouldn't I said I was gonna be somewhere?
Yeah.
But hey. Anyway, Vito, let me know. But anyway, go on.
Basically, Justin. It comes down to I know we all want to improve the O-line, and that was our focus from the beginning. And maybe they didn't make the splashy signings and everything that we wanted, but I think it's actually coming out to be a lot better than any of us anticipated, including myself. And I'm the biggest skeptic of the O-line. Okay, but I was even worried before the beginning of the season, and then I caught myself in between being worried and was like, "Yo, slow down a minute." We have 10 guys who can play tackle on this team. 10. Yeah. You have 10 tackles on the team, basically. And that's why that slowed me down from being so worried. I was like, well, wait a minute. Now Teron's hurt, blah, blah, blah. I was like, wait a minute. I got Lamb. I got Keon Smith, right? You got that's 2 right there. But then you have Eichenberg who's played tackle. You got Jackson who can swing over there to left tackle if he needed to. That's 4. You have Hunt who's played tackle. Oh, you got Robert Jones. He's played tackle. Tunstall, James Tunstall plays tackle. You still got guys who can do it, is my point. Maybe even Chase Hines, Chasen Hines kid you got from New England. Maybe he can even play some tackle. That's what I'm trying to say is I think we have enough bullets for the gun right now. But at the same point in time, adding another one that's maybe top quality, yeah, I'm not opposed to it. But
we all as Dolphin fans, when he was coming out, because he had the whole draft and the kid was going to be a high. He got screwed by fake scandals and linked to whatever. So everyone thought, oh, he was coming to the Dolphins for sure, but he went to Dallas first, signed with Dallas because he would have been drafted and he would have been, some people were saying, oh, the Dolphins should have just thrown a late pick on him anyway and used a pick on him and whatever. But he went through the whole draft process when he was going to be top two. Two or three in the rounds in the draft somewhere he was going to be drafted. Fell all the way out, if not a first round pick. Fell all the way out of the draft. And then he became an undrafted free agent. His name was cleared, so he was the number one undrafted free agent that every team wanted. He went to Dallas with all connection fights, ready to come to Miami, but Jerry Jones said, "You're here. We're not letting you go." And I think that's why Dolphin fans remember that. It's like that name is just always there.
Yeah, I know, but at the same point in time, like we got to learn to move on a little bit.
Oh, I know. That's what I was asking if you're ready to just move on. But I just remembered. I think that's why Dolphin fans just remember.
I definitely remember, but man, you know what? If there's something that you could do right now to get someone excited like me, like the whole Dolphins nation out there, all of us, obviously we would love to have Jonathan Taylor's.
I knew that's what you were saying.
I know, but like to move on.
I agree. I agree. Hey, this is blab talk. This is what brings us up.
Imagine getting something like Quentin Nelson with Jonathan Taylor. Like, oh my God. See, like you might not even need to do that. And the way you do it is by doing what they did in 2019 or 18 when they went out there and poached from the Ravens off their practice squad. Zach Sealer. Man, there's guys out like I could go down I wrote down all of Chris Greer's draft picks and the undrafted picks he's made since he's been the GM of the Dolphins. He's actually not got too bad of a record. He has one draft that was terrible. Everything else has been pretty good. What I'm trying to get at is there's guys out there you can go poach now off of your rivals. The Jets have Jason Poe, the guard that was from the Niners, or the guard center. He could probably play tackle or fullback. Someone like that makes your offense that much more.
Who has him?
The Jets. They got him from.
The Jets have a good offensive line out. They're a line that there's not even that good on this active.
I don't care. I don't care.
So you think they're making a mistake having him on the practice squad?
Jason Poe is so good, bro. If we brought Jason Poe from Mercer, former Mercer college football player, I'm telling you, dude, this kid is a baller. And I can't believe the Niners let him go and cut him. I wanted to pick him up and poach him that bad when they cut him. I wanted to claim a waiver wire on him. He's good. He's that good to be part of our team. You having snap problems? Jason Poe can snap. Oh, you having guard problems? Jason Poe can play guard. I'm telling you, bro. Okay. Guys like that.
I take your word. You know that a lot better than I do.
I would take guys like
you
that.
Love those offensive linemen. You study those offensive linemen. You study them coming out of the draft, and then you keep track of them, what they're doing in the NFL.
Yes.
So I will bow to your excellence on that topic. If you say he's good, but to me, this is being the casual fan diehard more than a casual fan when it comes to the Dolphins, but casual fan of the NFL overall, knowing who's who. I look and say, really? A guy that's on the Jets practice squad? You're going to go raid that damn?
I would. I would go raid that camp. I really would.
I was saying, man, because after their performance the other night, I think I may have got some pressure on the quarterback.
I would go when I go to get a guy off a practice squad. I don't start in the NFC East. I start in the AFC East. That's where I start. I start in our division.
The double hit.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Take from them and add to you, so you give them a double hit.
Yes, bro. It's like addition by subtraction from another team. Like, dude, if you go do that, and I'm telling you, that's how you eat them where it hurts. I'd be one of those asshole GMs. I would go take your guys that you were like, oh, we're gonna stash him and we're gonna use him later.
Hey, they did it to us, man. Teams do it to us,
Yep, I would be the same way, and I would just start hitting them where it hurts, man. I would take all the guys.
Elijah Higgins is gone. Hayes is gone. Two guys that we were going to try to sneak onto. They didn't even make it that far. We couldn't even get them for a week on our practice squad before some team and claimed them off waivers.
And you know what's crazy about it is he's on the Colts practice squad along with the guy I love out of Florida A&M, Isaiah Land. Dude, I would be happy with poaching both of them, right? Take Ryan Hayes back and go get Isaiah Land. Oh, my God, you get Isaiah Land, bro, and you pair that with some Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, hey. On that note, I just looked at the time. You make time fly, Justin. It's so much fun doing shows with you. I gotta end the
Appreciate
show.
you. Thanks, sir.
All you guys that come in here, I appreciate it. Wouldn't do this without you guys. It's so much fun. I know there's a lot of big channels out there, 10 times bigger than my channel, that you could go listen to people talk about Dolphins, but you find my channel. I love it. I appreciate you guys. You guys rock. And don't forget, if you're going to ever buy something on Fanatics, hit my link. It's just a little way to help the channel, and you still get stuff directly from Fanatics. You can go to dolphinthirsty.com and hit my shop. I normally have them here. I think I have it here in my description today, the Fanatics link. You can think that and do that. And if you guys ever drink what they call blackout coffee, use the discount code THIRSTY. I just this week became their affiliate partner. So use the discount code THIRSTY. It's a little more expensive coffee, but it's really good coffee for people that love coffee. People rave about it. They give it a fins up, as I would say. So that's blackout coffee, and it's all made in the United States here in Florida. So I like those local businesses, and the discount code's THIRSTY. So hey, thank you, Shake Money, and again, check out Shake Money on the Fins tailgate. He's really good stuff. They bring it. And Justin, if people want to get hold of you, and because this is your busy time selling jerseys and stuff, they can reach out to you at JPF Scout on Twitter and set up any order, any team, any sport. Justin can hook you up.
I got you.
Things that may not be on Fanatics, and that's how I will say it. So it's all good stuff. And you have like that
full disclosure. Full disclosure. We love the black market over here.
If you use the discount term THIRSTY, I get a little bit of commission at Blackout Coffee. And if you click on my link with Fanatics, I'm an affiliate partner with them. I will get a little bit of commission. You pay nothing extra, and in fact, save if you do it with Blackout Coffee, discount code THIRSTY. But anyway, you guys give that fins up, thumbs up, and it's been great, man. Hey, thank you, Vito. I will look out for that. I have telling Justin I want to see one of your games. It should be fun. So just don't be playing the Dolphins version that week, because I'll be probably rocking Dolphins gear, and everyone's going to think I'm rooting for the other team, Vito. Even though I'll be rooting for Vito's team. But anyway, it's all good, guys. Fins up. Justin, any final thoughts before I close out with my video?
He who laughs last best, baby.
All right, man. I love it, man. Thank you, guys. Fins up. Have a great rest of your Thirsty Thursday.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, man, he knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won.